Hey everybody, it's Joe Vizio here. Just give me one moment. I know this light is awful. This is the first time I wanted to try this. I'm going to make a little video here. And while I do it, I'm going to do one of my favorite things in the world to do. Cook. My wife actually gave me the night off tonight. We have just a couple jobs, so she's out doing that. So I'm going to try and cook for her. Try and have her some dinner for when she comes home. So, while I'm doing that, bada bing, bada boom, you know? So, I hope this works out. So, if it does, maybe in the future we'll do more. Now, excuse me, I'm looking for some breadcrumbs real quick. I know we have some. It's in here somewhere. But then again, we might not have any breadcrumbs. And I might have to end up, breadcrumbs. I knew we had some. So, I want to talk about today. You know, I got an email from somebody. And, you know, I said this. You know, with everything that we've all been through, and, you know, to the person who wrote this email to me, with everything that we've all been through, to take the time to just send somebody a positive note to try and lift them up, I mean, it's truly remarkable. And we're all normal. All of us, every one of us, we're normal. And don't let anybody try and tell you different. Even if there's some times out there that maybe you miss or you long for what could have been. And I'll give you an example. My daughter right now, you know, she's in her bedroom. And, you know, I want to kind of get her calmed down because it is like 9 o'clock at night. It's a school night, so we've got school tomorrow. So, yeah, I just kind of want her calm. So I have on a nice calming show for her. Excuse me one moment. Wash some of this egg off of my hands. So I wanted to watch something calming. And I particularly like this little cartoon. It's called Stella and Sam. And it's just a nice, peaceful kind of show. A brother and a sister to just go on little adventures around their house and get out there, do kid things, use their imagination. You know what I mean? I love it. And one of the biggest things that draws me to that cartoon, that I like it so much, is that it kind of, I guess, reminds me of what could have been between my sister and myself. What I had wished for. And I know it's kind of, you know, reaching out there. We don't live in a perfect world. We know that. You got to accept what is, blah, blah, blah. But we can still hope, right? We can still think a little bit about what could have been if we lived in that perfect world. Believe me, I know we don't. But Stella and Sam kind of remind me of, like I said, what I would have wanted had I had a good sister. Just about an older sister that just kind of plays with her brother and leads her brother around on these little adventures. I don't know if any of you have anything like that that kind of reminds you. I'll give you another example. There's this, one of my customers, one of these little places I clean. Little family-owned truck driving place. And, you know, it's got the mechanic shop and, you know, they rent trucks and they have their own over-the-road big rigs that they hire people to do and all that. I like this place because it is a very close family place. When I go in there, they got this wall that's just doors and glass, okay? And on the outside of these doors and glass, there's a big counter where people come up to rent, like, moving trucks and things like that. But on the other side of it is offices. And there's 3 offices right in a row. And then kind of down the hall a little bit and across the other side is a 4th office. And these offices are occupied by the sister, who is, I guess, kind of like the CEO. She's, you know, she's the boss. She runs the show. So she's got the nice big cushy office. And then that whole wall of glass and doors, you have the brother, you have a sister, and then you have the father. And of course, you know, the father started the business and he, you know, kind of wears the pants around there, but he's turning it over to his kids. His kids have been running it with him since forever. One of the comments, I mean, the guy had made to me, I had said something about, you know, putting some wax on his floors, and he says, man, those tiles have been down here since 1983. So they've been there a while. And every time I go in there and I see people's pictures of their kids, and it just kind of reminds me of what wasn't. What could have been but wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you share that. I don't know if you ever share them thoughts, but I'm a frying pan. I like to think about that. I like to think about that not because I miss my father or my sister. My father's an asshole, my sister's a cunt. But it's just that one thing, like if I could draw a picture of what a family should be, would kind of look like that. If I could draw a picture of what a sibling relationship would look like, would kind of look like Stella and Sam. You know what I mean? I don't know, if you got kids, if you got grandkids, you know, it's on Netflix. Just check it out. You'll see what I mean. You know, where Stella's the older sister, and she really guides her brother, you know what I mean? She guides her brother, she takes care of her brother. She teaches him, they play together, they have fun. I've never heard Stella call Sam a retard. Go figure, right? So, in case you're wondering, I am going to make a kind of a homemade sweet and sour chicken. I got my chicken that I'm cutting up and dipping in egg, and then I roll in the breadcrumbs here so that I get little chicken nuggets. Already got some rice going. Well, it's already done. I'm going to put that rice in the frying pan and kind of do like a fried rice kind of thing. Put some veggies in it. A little bit of sweet and sour sauce. We'll see how this turns out, huh? I love cooking. I love cooking so much. You know, if cooking wasn't something that you had to kind of start off at the bottom and make barely minimum wage or barely over minimum wage doing, I think that's something that I would have pursued as a career. It's because I like it. It's always giving me something that I like to do, something that I enjoy to do, and most of the time when I do it, it seems to bring other people pleasure. I think that's why a lot of people like to come over to my house for the holidays, and they want to get that meet the ball. You know, I know how that is. So, I hope everybody out there is doing okay. And, you know, as a community, it's great to try and lift each other up, you know what I mean? I always like to, when I can, you know, just kind of leave somebody a comment on their videos just to, you know, hey, I received your message. I know what you're saying. Just, you know, started listening to another person, and, you know, she's been around for a while. Name's Honey Badger. And, you know, I liked what she had to say. She definitely, in this video, and this was the first video I watched of her, she definitely has some good old-fashioned righteous anger. Definitely some good old-fashioned righteous anger. So, you know, as I'm usually a Johnny-come-lately, I know you guys probably already know of her and check her out regularly. In case you haven't done it before, you know, check it out, Honey Badger. And, you know, it's enjoyable. I actually enjoy watching everybody grow. And, you know, good times and bad. So, and I know a lot of you guys, you know, you like to check out Michelle from Breaking the Chain. You know, she's kind of going through it a little bit. She's kind of on a little bit of a downward spiral. So if you are a person that likes to check out her channel, just, you know, go leave her some positive notes, give her a little pick-me-up. She could probably use it. We all probably can from time to time. And, you know, one more thing I kind of want to address on here. And I've seen it on a few people's channels. And I know that there is, you know, I guess some troublemakers within the community, or people that just aren't so genuine. One more moment. like to wash my hands a lot when I work with chicken and egg and I tend to try and stay out of a lot of drama and things like that there. You know, I try to, you know, treat people, you know, with the same kind of respect that they treat me. You know, I am as close as I can say it. My political affiliation would be more anarchist. And when I say anarchist, I'm not talking about throwing Molotov cocktails at cops and things like that, because that's not what anarchism is. Anarchism is just kind of self-government, taking care of yourself and doing the right thing. So, you know, where I love freedom and everything like that, you know, freedom does have a price. And the price is that other people are going to enjoy their freedom. And you might not agree with them. You might not agree with what they say or how they say it. And, you know, it's just life. I'm a change the channel kind of guy. If I don't like what's on the TV, I'll change it. If TV is, I mean, really damaging, then it's all of our responsibility to put a stop to things like that, because, you know, we have our kind of community standard. So I try and respect everybody's freedom. I hope that people respect my freedom. And most of the time, if I don't like what somebody's saying, you know, I usually won't leave any negative comments or anything like that. I just move on. I just move on. Unless you're trying to harm somebody. So, you know, I kind of don't get caught up in the drama. But I have to say that, you know, maybe I know what some of you are talking about. Without naming any channels, you know, I do see the ones out there that just seem like it's somebody giving us lip service, and, you know, they're doing it to try and make ad revenue. And, you know, it does seem like that sometimes that, you know, YouTube is going to cater to the bigger channels where the, you know, ad revenue is going to come in a little more. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, that's really the only reason why that I ever added commercials onto mine. It wasn't even for the revenue. It was because if you have ads on your videos, then they're going to get just a little bit more exposure than somebody who, say, just doesn't run any ads at all. You know, we have to remember that YouTube, which is owned by Google, is a company that wants money, 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 money. So we always have to kind of keep that in mind. And while keeping that in mind, we have to understand that there are going to be YouTubers out there that are going to tell you what you want to hear, or are going to learn the certain buzzwords that they have to say to be able to run what could be known as a successful channel, so that they can make money. And they're out there. And like I said, I'm not naming who I think is what, because that's kind of not fair. I just kind of stay away from them. You won't ever hear me plugging their channels. And even if there is one, a channel out there that's big and they do make money at it, that's good, because let's just use Ollie as an example. Ollie really performs a service to a lot of people out there. And if you ever have a couple dollars that you can throw Ollie's way, I mean, I think it's money well spent. And it's a good way to really get exposure for all of us. But then again, there's the other side of that coin, and I'm sure, you know, we all know which channels those are. Again, I just stay away from them. I don't pay them no mind. And if they are coming into your comments and harassing you about anything, I'm truly sorry. And if there's anything that I can do to help, you know, you got me. So, you know, keep that in mind. And, you know, on the subject of getting channel exposure and all that, and I've said this before, I will always try and give people plugs, even if your channel is larger than mine, because, you know, there might be a couple people on my channel that don't know about you. And as these YouTube channels are sometimes hard to really get off the ground and going, I mean, you got to really put your time into to get it going and be successful. And I always say, you know, I mean, not always say, but it's kind of my new philosophy with this. If I'm going to run this channel, I'm going to try and be successful at it. We all owe that to ourselves to just kind of rise up and be successful at what we want to do. So, excuse me one moment, let me turn down my heat here. So we all got to kind of help each other out. So if we can give each other plugs every now and then to kind of share subscribers and get you get your channel noticed a little more, or whatever the case may be, you know, I'm all for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my chicken on this in this frying pan over here, and I probably shouldn't be too distracted while I do that. So, you know, guys, I want to give you a big thank you for really for everything that you do. You know, all the comments that I get, you know, the emails, just the little notes, the excuse me, the love. That's short and sweet. What it is the love. And, you know, and I always want to try and return that and get out and hit your channels and, you know, just learn what you have to say as well. So that's what a community is. That's what we do. And, you know, by all means, we need to stick together, because we've all been forced to travel a road in some ways. And, you know, it's only now that we have to kind of put the pieces together. So we've all been through something. So we don't need to give each other any shit. So, guys, thank you very much.